This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Good evening. You've heard of road rage, but tonight we begin with a dangerous case of boat rage in the Delta that sent someone to the hospital. Neighbors captured this video over the weekend of a boat running over someone on a jet ski and then slamming into some docked boats. This all happened Sunday night in Discovery Bay, a Contra Costa County community on the edge of the Delta, where many people have boats docked and sometimes even in their own backyards. Our Katie Nielsen spoke with neighbors who saw the dust-up that ended with the violent crash.
This is where everything happened just before sunset on Sunday night, and a neighbor who actually lives right across the bay captured the entire thing on cell phone video. Take a look. This is the video Katie Hernandez shot as she was standing at her dock in Discovery Bay just before 9 p.m. on Sunday.
It was insane. It was like out of a movie.
She says the dark-colored wakeboard boat came flying into the small harbor area right next to Discovery Bay Marina's docks. The boat chasing after a person on a jet ski, going around in circles, creating waves and wakes, rocking all the boats. After a few minutes, the jet skier headed back toward the docks. And in another video, you can see that's when it happened. The dark-colored wakeboard boat runs over one of the people on the jet skis, then crashes into boats docked at the marina. And in the boat driver's rush to turn around and leave,
oh my God.
The dark-colored boat hit another set of boats docked on the opposite side.
The boat just sped off, full speed, out of here, hightailed it.
Katie says she's lived here since she was little, and recently she's noticed a lot more problems on the water, especially with those who don't live in Discovery Bay, but instead bring their boats in and launch them from nearby marinas.
They want to go to Ski Beach and have fun, and it's just amateur hour, unfortunately, happens out here. It's not safe.
The Contra Costa County Fire Department said one person was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Katie says she's amazed no one was seriously hurt.
I literally thought that guy was gonna die.
Now she's questioning whether people in Discovery Bay are safe in their own backyard, the area right off the end of their dock.
I do want to have friends over and have them come float and barbecue, but it's like kind of uneasy now. Do I want to invite anybody over? It's terrible.
The Contra Costa County Sheriff's Department says this is still an active investigation, but so far they have not made any arrests in the case. Now, as for the jet skier, friends of his say he's pretty shaken up and also banged up, but is expected to be okay.
A Bay Area family is in mourning after a tech executive and his parents were killed in a horrific boating accident on Lake Tahoe over the weekend. San Francisco resident Josh Pickles and his parents, Terry Pickles and Paula Bozinovich, were among the 8 people killed when their boat capsized Saturday afternoon. The group was celebrating Paula's 71st birthday. And this is a look at the conditions on South Lake Tahoe Saturday afternoon when a sudden storm whipped up strong winds and huge swells. Authorities say the 27-foot boat capsized in waves as high as 8 feet. 2 people on the boat survived. We spoke with a neighbor of one of the victims, Pete Bays from Auburn, California. He says Pete loved nature and would go to Tahoe often.
Super quirky guy, super fun-loving. You just could ask for a better guy next to you, really.
The youngest member of the group, Josh, a DoorDash executive, leaves behind his wife, Jordan, and 7-month-old daughter. The pair married less than 2 years earlier. Jordan released a statement saying, "We are devastated by this tragedy. No words can express the pain and anguish we feel knowing their lives were lost during what was meant to be a joyful time on the lake. Our hearts go out to those who tragically lost their lives and the 2 survivors of this unexpected and deadly storm on Lake Tahoe." Onto a tense confrontation on a downtown San Francisco street today. We saw activists trying to stop a federal vehicle from leaving the ICE office on Sansom Street. So the activists were taunting the federal agents and getting physical. The agents tried to push them out of the way to clear a path. The federal vehicle eventually drove off. The activists continued to follow the federal agents through the streets. They backed up, trying to get away from the crowd. The activists have been following activity at both Concord and San Francisco immigration courts, but we do not have any official information on whether ICE made any arrests today. We have reached out to ICE for a response, but have not heard back yet. Concord police released new video of a wild pursuit that took them across the entire East Bay and then ended up with a police shooting a suspected bank robber all the way down in the South Bay. So Devin Feely joining us in studio now with a closer look at that particular video. Hey, Devin.
Hey, Jules, the robbery, the high-speed chase, the carjacking, the shooting all happened on April 21st. The entire incident lasted for more than an hour and spanned more than 50 miles from one corner of the bay to another, from Concord down to San Jose. And now Concord PD is sharing video of the whole thing from start to finish. It all started around 9:40 a.m. at the Diablo Valley Federal Credit Union on Detroit Avenue in Concord. Police released this edited security camera video of the two suspects, 29-year-old Cruz Vargas and 21-year-old Elijah Phillips, stuffing cash into plastic bags. The suspects then took off with police in pursuit. Officers chased them down 680, but they say the suspects ran into traffic in Sonoma and ditched their car. Police say this cell phone video shows them trying to carjack a Tesla at gunpoint, but the driver was able to disable the car. So the suspects carjacked the people who were filming the video.
Let me see your hands! Hey! Hey, come back! Let me see your hands! Stop! Stop!
That's body camera video from the Concord police. Corporal trying to stop the second carjacking. As it was happening, the suspects then took off again on 680. The people inside of the car, a mother and her two kids, thankfully they weren't hurt. Police chased the suspects down to San Jose and through city streets. Eventually, the suspects crashed on Mayberry Road and right off 101. The suspects then took off running, tried to split up. This is more dash cam from moments later. Police say that Vargas tried to carjack another person while holding what appears to be a gun. That's what police are really keying in on at this point. He keeps running, and that's when an officer shot him. Vargas was taken to the hospital to recover. Concord police also released this photo. They say it's the gun that he had when officers opened fire. They say that it was illegally modified to be fully automatic with a high-capacity magazine. Phillips was arrested nearby. Police say that he was carrying cash from the credit union. Both suspects are facing a laundry list of charges, from robbery to carjacking to possession of a machine gun. Vargas was also hit with additional charges, including brandishing a firearm at a police officer. They're both due in court on July 10th. Jules?
You know, it makes me think suspects just aren't caught in the act anymore. They're caught on camera. Our lead story with the boating incident was cell phone video, and then this case right here.
3 different sets of cameras, if you paid close attention, inside of the credit union, the dash cam, body camera, and also someone with a cell phone.
Yeah, all eyes everywhere. Note to self. All right, Devin, thank you. All right, a city council seat. It is up for grabs today in San Jose's special election runoff. Voters have a choice between Anthony Tordios and Gabby Chavez Lopez to represent District 3, which covers downtown. Tordios is the chairman of the San Jose Planning Commission and a software engineer at Google. Gabby Chavez Lopez is the executive director of the Latina Coalition of Silicon Valley, a downtown-based nonprofit. Whoever wins will take office in July. We will be following these results. So when you think of San Jose, does a landmark come to mind? Back in 2021, plans were announced to build a huge artistic structure that would rank with the Eiffel Tower and the Golden Gate Bridge. Organizers raised and spent a lot of money. But as John Ramus explains, the nonprofit behind it says they are dropping their original idea and they're now looking for a new one.
This is Cesar Chavez Plaza, a 2-acre park in downtown San Jose. But there's an effort underway to build a landmark here big enough to draw worldwide attention and put the city of San Jose on the map. A nonprofit group called Urban Confluence of Silicon Valley is not afraid to dream big for San Jose.
If you travel around the world, you'll see that great cities have iconic structures in them. Great cities do great things. They do big things.
This was their big thing. It was called Breeze of Innovation, a 200-foot tower of swaying lighted rods. It was planned to go here at the Arena Green, a park next to the SAP Center. They raised more than $3 million in donations, and eventually the location was changed to Cesar Chavez Plaza. But now, 4 years later, the money's gone, and San Jose still doesn't have the landmark that Urban Confluence said it desperately needs. Debbie DeGudis runs the annual Christmas in the Park event at the plaza.
When you heard that this was going to be the new location for the then proposal, Breeze of Innovation, what was your first reaction?
I took a deep breath, and I was very thankful that change takes a long time. We were concerned about logistics, of course, and what it would really look like. But we also knew that the final product might look different than what was proposed.
Breeze of Innovation was designed as an homage to San Jose's last iconic structure. In 1881, when the electric light bulb was new, San Jose erected an illuminated 237-foot tower that became a sensation. But a windstorm destroyed it in 1915, and the idea of the new structure was to capture that wonder again.
And beyond being a visual landmark, Breeze of Innovation will help properly honor the legacy of Cesar Chavez in the park that bears his name.
Of course, that wasn't its first location or its original intent, so Urban Confluence is shifting gears, dropping Breeze of Innovation for an as-yet undecided landmark that will celebrate Cesar Chavez instead. In his announcement, Executive Director Steve Borkenhagen said, quote, "Our journey has encountered frustrations and unexpected challenges, but we still believe San Jose deserves a world-class landmark," end quote. But for DeGudis, the question is this the right place to put it?
Should we give up real estate for a landmark? Should we give up space for people to play, picnic, listen to music for a landmark? You know, no one's going to be 100% happy. And I don't have a good answer. I don't know if that's the right place for it. I think it depends on what it is.
At this point, no one knows what it will be or where. And while DeGudis may have her doubts, she does understand the idea behind it.
When big events come to the Bay Area, like the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, all the shots are at the Golden Gate Bridge. And when people say, well, how come they don't show San Jose? The question then comes up, well, what would they show? You know, what would be the thing? And I think that was what Steve was trying to solve with this project, which I support 100%. I don't know what that thing is, and I don't know where it should be.
San Jose is tired of living in the shadow of its flashy brother to the north. And while some would like to shed its small town feel, there are those who would consider that a loss as well.
The Breeze of Innovation concept was chosen in a worldwide design competition. The nonprofits say they will soon be sharing the new design, but there was no mention of another competition. All right, still ahead here at 6. He's a baseball superstar both here and abroad, and now the Giants are cashing in. We have a look at the marketing machine behind Jung Ho Lee.
We're just excited that we have an amazing player that allows us to really go into the Korean market with confidence.
All right, so in about 30 minutes, the Giants will open a 3-game series against the Miami Marlins. One player in tonight's lineup has quickly become a fan favorite. South Korean center fielder Jung Ho Lee is in his second season in San Francisco. Lee's 6-year, $113 million deal with the Giants is the most ever for a Korean position player. Now, Lee has become a major piece of the franchise's efforts to expand the brand here and overseas. Kenny Choi explores Lee's economic impact.
Each time the young Korean baseball star steps up to the plate, there's a cadence and energy that erupts as fans cheer on number 51. Garrett Ryan just bought his first Jung Ho Lee jersey.
He just brings a very new energy to the team that I feel like we haven't seen in a long time.
Giants games are broadcast in South Korea. Haley Witten brought her parents to see Jung Ho Lee. she's not shy about why.
First of all, he's really handsome and he's a really good player.
His popularity is translating to revenue for the team. Lee's jersey is selling at a rate 6 times greater than the next most popular player. The Giants have also inked major advertising deals with Korean companies like Hanwha Insurance and say they're continuing to pursue other partnerships. Rachel Haidt is the Giants' chief marketing officer.
Over the last few years, MLB has been very focused on bringing the game of baseball internationally, and we're just excited that we have an amazing player that allows us to really go into the Korean market with confidence.
Besides multiple promotional giveaways this season, including Jung Ho Crew shirts and other wearables, Haidt and her marketing team are aggressively highlighting Lee on social.
We're very, very active on all social channels. YouTube does really well in Korea, and kind of any Jung Ho Lee highlight is honestly baseball gold.
Haidt says the Korean market for the Giants is an important one. Michael Goldman is a professor of sports management at the University of San Francisco.
I think teams recognize that when they're able to attract superstars and develop superstars that come from specific places, they're able to unlock additional fandom and therefore additional customers from those places.
Look no further than Shohei Ohtani. Analysts say merchandise, ticket sales, advertising, and TV ratings have spiked because of the Dodgers' superstar. Many believe Ohtani will be worth well over $1 billion to the franchise during his decade-long $700 million contract.
It's not a new phenomenon, but certainly Ohtani has focused everyone's attention at the dramatic returns that can happen when someone like that performs so well.
Goldman says it's still too early to determine Lee's value to the Giants since this is his first full season after an injury last year. For fans, rooting for Lee is much simpler than analyzing dollars and cents.
I think just because the way he presents himself, it's what people connect to. That's why a lot of people are drawn to him.
He's drawing in fans, and the Giants are ready to capture the market.
And in addition to the Jung Ho Crew, there's also a fan-coordinated section in 325 by the Hooligans. Sounds fun. 325.
Hooligans.
Okay, we were just practicing that too.
Hooligans?
Hooligans.
Up today. It's a play on words. It's a homonym. Temperatures today only in the 70s inland, well below what's normal for late June, but we're going to start to warm up already tomorrow. Details coming up in the First Alert forecast.
All right. First Alert weather. What are we going to start with? Do you get nervous?
On television?
Yeah, well, just, I don't know.
No.
Okay.
I don't know. It's been
It was
25
just a
years
viewer
doing
question that someone asked me if you got nervous.
I don't know. I mean, I did when I started doing this, but that was half a lifetime ago.
All right.
Actually, more than half my life ago.
You should be nervous.
It's been that long. Well, I mean, just when you're around. Let's take a look at what's happening because I just don't know what's going to happen. The satellite view over the past several hours shows the fog and low cloud cover just very stubbornly hanging out along the coast, but over the bay as well. Minimal sunshine for most bayside communities today. A little bit glimmering through here and there, but farther inland, after that morning fog managed to pull out of the inland valleys, temperatures tried to warm up, but as I showed you before the break, we ended up a good 9 to 12 degrees below average on a widespread basis. And the fog is going to be a factor as we head through the rest of tonight. Let's take a look at what things look like outside right now as we look out from the Mark Hopkins Hotel. Gray skies, June gloom in abundance. Temperature in San Francisco is at 56 degrees. Everybody else is in the 60s, anywhere from 60 in Oakland to just short of 70 degrees in both Concord and in Santa Rosa at 68 degrees. As we head through the rest of tonight, the fog is once again going to spread out. Let's go to the local map here and track that fog as we head through tonight. And it's going to make a good push into the inland valleys once again by early tomorrow morning. That'll slow down the warm up, but the fact that the fog pulls out of those inland valleys a little bit faster and even breaks up a little bit earlier and to a greater extent around the bay is going to allow temperatures to start to warm up to a little bit closer to what's normal for this time of year. And you can see that if we just look at the temperature color palette. Some more reds and oranges showing up, especially away from the bay and away from the coast. Even some purple through the Central Valley where temperatures are more likely to get up to closer to 90 degrees. Warm spots around the Bay Area are going to be in the upper half of the 80s. Morgan Hill up to 86 degrees, while San Jose is only in the mid to upper 70s. Temperatures mostly in the 80s east of the Oakland Hills. Hope you enjoyed those 70s today because you're going to be warmer tomorrow, but falling short at 90 degrees even around Antioch and Brentwood. Around the Bay, a mix of 60s in San Francisco and Oakland to the low to mid 70s in Fremont and Redwood City. The coast only in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. And for the North Bay, a mix of 70s and farther into the 80s the farther inland you go. The hot spot for the entire region will be Healdsburg, getting all the way up to around 90 degrees. As we head through the day tomorrow, good dog walking weather for an adoptable dog of the day. One of those times when the face matches the name. This is Precious, who is available from Lily's Legacy in Petaluma. Temperatures will be warmer in the afternoon, but not hot. Not yet. There are some hotter temperatures in store a little bit farther down the line. I'll put up a link to her information if you're interested in adopting as soon as we finish up this weathercast. Let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. And we do have the hotter temperatures in store a little farther down the line. Friday and Saturday are going to be the high water point for our high temperatures, but even inland, just barely cracking 90 degrees. That's not that hot for the last weekend in June. And then we're back down into the 80s on a widespread basis as we finish June and head into early July. First day of July is a week from today. That doesn't seem possible. Temperatures around the Bay, not as much variation, but Friday and Saturday will be the warmest days with high temperatures reaching up into the 70s on a more widespread basis. At the coast, your temperatures don't change a lot, but what you will see is more sunshine. A lot of fog the next couple of days, fog and low cloud cover, but then more sunshine and slightly warmer temperatures by Friday and Saturday.
Let's talk some Golden State Valkyries. They're back in action tomorrow night at Chase Center. Golden State will try to keep its win streak alive against the New York Liberty. The defending WNBA champions. Coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow on our sister station, Pix Plus. All right, our local news continues on our streaming service, CBS News Bay Area. We're back here in 30 minutes with more news just for you at 7 o'clock.